This video is about the relationship between central angles and their corresponding arcs. A central angle is an angle whose vertex is at the center. So for example, looking at this 64-degree angle, that is a central angle. And arc TP would be the corresponding, well, the intercepted arc. And the most important relationship is arcs are measured in degrees, the same way angles are. And if you have a central angle, the intercepted arc is going to be the same number of degrees as the angle. So the measure of arc TP, for example, would also be 64 degrees. So that's the big thing. Of course, as far as vocabulary goes, you have minor arcs and major arcs. A minor arc is an arc that is less than 180 degrees. Like this one, this would be a minor arc. If I had an arc that was exactly 180 degrees, like for example, wow, okay, I kind of missed the circle there. Let me try using a highlighter. Maybe I'll have better luck. All right, a 180-degree arc is known as a semicircle. But if I kept going and made it bigger, now that would be a major arc. All right, if you're going to do a minor arc, you're allowed to use two letters. So for example, if I wanted to describe this arc, I could say, hey everybody, look at arc TP. And I could use two letters to describe it. If I want to describe a semicircle or a major arc, then I have to use three letters. So for example, if I wanted everyone to look at the arc that I just highlighted in yellow, I might say, hey everybody, look at arc TQR. All right, and I could name it that way. Or the same arc could have been called TPR. So that's the background that you need to be able to do this worksheet. Okay. For emphasis, we're being told that PR is a diameter, all right? This is not like slightly bent. This is, in fact, a straight line. It's a straight segment, so that's going to be a diameter. And QS. So these things that look like diameters really are diameters of the circle. So keep that in mind. So we're going to state whether it's a major arc, minor arc, or semicircle, and then we will find the measure of the arc. So let's start by finding arc PQ. Well, here's arc PQ right here. Now, this angle and this angle are vertical angles. So if this is 42 degrees, that means this is also 42 degrees, which means that arc PQ is 42 degrees. This is a minor arc because it's less than 180, so we'll say minor, and we will say 42 degrees. Now, how about arc ST? So here is arc ST right here. Okay, well, this is the missing part of a semicircle. Can you see that if I look right here, this would be a semicircle? Okay. Now, if you look at the central angles, we have this central angle and this central angle. We're just missing this central angle right here. So, all of these angles have to add up to 180. Or, if I look at it the other way, I could use the arcs, and I could say, all right, this arc is 42, this arc is 64. All three of these arcs have to add up to 180. So all I really need to do is subtract from 180. Okay, maybe I'll scoot over just a little bit. So if I start with 180 degrees and I subtract the 64 and I subtract the 42 that I already have, that leaves 74 left. All right, which means that this angle and this arc are 74 degrees. All right, this is a minor arc. It is less than 180. It is 74 degrees. Okay, now how about arc TPS? Okay, now if I could just erase this yellow, because I might need that in a moment. Okay, arc TPS. It has to start at T, go through P, and continue until we get to S. So please understand that that is the arc that we're looking for. So this is definitely going to be a major arc. I can see that it is bigger than 180 degrees. So there's a number of ways I could calculate this. The one that's jumping out at me is this is almost the entire circle. All right, the entire circle would be 360 degrees. The only piece that's missing is the 74. So if I do 360 minus the 74, that should give me the rest. So that is 286 degrees. Another thing I could have done, I could have started with this semicircle. All right, this part over here is 180. Then I could have added an extra 64 and an extra 42. So I could have gone 180 plus 64 plus 42. That would have given me the same thing. All right, let me erase this yellow and such so I can highlight my next answer. Okay, RT. So now we're talking about arc RT, which is right here. That is clearly less than 180. So that's going to be a minor arc. And I can see that it is the sum of these two. Okay, so it will just be 74 plus 42. $116. All right, what's next? RQS. All right, I have to start from R, pass through Q, and go all the way around to S. RQS, whew, long way around. Obviously a major arc, once again. And this, again, is almost the entire circle. It's everything except for the 42. So again, if I take the 360 and just subtract the 42, that should be everything else. That's 318 degrees. Okay, how about arc QR? All right, I guess they gave us a fresh picture, but I think I would rather just keep using the same one because I already found all this information. What if I need it? Okay, so what about arc QR? Arc QR is right here. This is a minor arc. All right, it's clearly less than 180. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, guys, this is a diameter right here. So that means that this side has to be 180 degrees. So I've got this 42, and then this angle, this arc QR is the rest of the 180. So if I subtract 42 from 180, that should give me everything else. So that's why I'm going to go 180 minus the 42, and that's 138. I forget what color I'm doing a system. What color am I on? Green. Okay, what about arc PQS? Well, look, at this point, we have found every arc and angle in this picture. So anything else they could possibly ask is going to be super easy. PQS. That means I have to start at P, pass through Q, and keep going around to S. So I have a choice. I can either add 42 plus 108 plus 42, or I could recognize that from S to Q, that's 180 because it's semicircle, and then plus another 42. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. So I could do 180 plus 42. All right, so 180 plus an extra 42, that's 222. Or I could have done 42 plus 138 plus 42. Either way, I get the same thing. Which obviously is a major arc. Okay. How about arc TQR? Okay, from TQR has to start at T, pass through Q, and go around to R. So I can just add up these three arcs, 64 plus 42 plus 138. All right, because once you have all of the individual arcs, doesn't matter what combination they give you. You can just add them up. 64 plus 42 plus 138. That's going to be 244. That's major. Okay, what about arc PS? All right, arc PS goes from here to here. That's just 64 plus 74. That's 138. And arc PTR. Arc PTR. TR. Well, that's a semicircle, so that's going to be 180. All right, let's keep it going with a new picture. We're supposed to find the measure of arc AB. So here's arc AB right here. And, well, see the little box there? That tells you that this angle is 90 degrees. And that's a central angle, so that means the arc is also 90 degrees. So this is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, what about arc ACB? All right, arc ACB is the rest of the circle. Okay, so that's going to be 180 degrees. Sorry, not 180 degrees. That's 360 degrees minus the 90. And you know that's going to turn out to be 270. Okay, it's the whole circle except for the 90. And now they're asking us for the measure of arc AC. Well, AC is just the part that goes from here to here. Well, that is half of the 270, right? So we had the 270, but if we split that into two equal parts, one of those will be AC. So what's 270 divided by 2? 135. So that means this is 135, and this is 135. Okay, new picture. The measure of arc AB. So here's arc AB. All right, see how each one of these portions has the same mark? That means that these are all equivalent. So if I do 360 divided by 3, that should give it to me. So I'm just doing 360 divided by 3, and that should tell me how big each one is. $120. All right, next we have arc AC. Okay, that's the same exact thing. It's just a different section, but it's the same. So that's also going to be 120. Okay, now how about arc ABC? Well, arc ABC goes like this. All right, so that's just two of them. So 120 plus 120, that's 240. Okay, what about this? Arc ABD. All right, ABD is like this. Well, that is a semicircle, so that's clearly 180 degrees. Okay, now what about arc AB, which is just this portion right here? Well, notice that AB and CD are marked congruent to each other. Okay, and see this 90-degree angle right here in the middle? So we know that this portion is 90 degrees. So starting from a semicircle, right, the top half of this picture is 180 degrees. If I subtract the 90, that's going to leave 90. So that means I have 90 degrees left over. All right, I have 90 degrees to be shared between this portion and this portion. So in other words, if I take that 90 degrees and I divide by 2, I'm going to get 45 degrees. So that means this remaining 90 degrees is really 45 degrees here and 45 degrees here. So that's why AB is going to be 45 degrees. Okay, what about ABC? ABC is this. All right, that's a 45 and a 90. That's 135. Okay. PQ and RS are diameters of circle T. All right, well, I think we need to draw that. The measure of arc PR is 35 degrees. Okay, let's see what we can do. So remember, a diameter goes through the center of the circle. So we need to imagine that this is passing through the center of the circle. Okay, well, while I'm at it. So here's diameter PQ. And this must be point T, by the way, because we call it circle T. That means the center has to be T. Okay, now we will have another diameter. And this is RS. Okay, so this is R and S. Okay, arc PR is 35 degrees. So that means this is 35 degrees, which means this central angle is also 35 degrees. Great, so there's our picture. Now, find the measure of arc PS. Okay, so arc PS is going to be this. Well, we've got the semicircle. If I went from R to S, that would be a semicircle. So this is a semicircle, except take away the 35. All right, so if I just do 180 minus the 35, then that should leave me the rest. $145. Okay, how about arc PSR? Okay, PSR is this. It starts at P, it goes through S, and it keeps going all the way around to R. That's PSR. That's almost the entire circle, guys. So this would be 360 minus this one little piece. So that's going to be 325. Okay, how about arc PRQ? PRQ is this. Wait a minute, PRQ is a semicircle. So I don't have to really think about that one. That's going to be 180 degrees. It's It's obviously a semicircle. All right, what about PRS? All right, PRS goes from P through R all the way around to S. Now here, there's a semicircle so far. So that's 180 degrees plus an extra 35 degrees. Well, wait a minute, where did I get this 35 from? These are vertical angles. So if this is 35, that means this is 35 as well. So if I go 180 plus the extra 35, that's 215. All right? All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.